Let's go. Good girl. And it ended up working out pretty well. Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video, we're going to be installing the second roof fan. It is an exhaust fan and its purpose is to take air out of the van. We measure and tape the outline of where we're going to cut in order to have not only a straight line, but also to catch all the metal debris that would happen during the grind of the blade going through the metal. We start off by pre-drilling holes to where the jigsaw blade would enter and then find its path through the guides of the tape. The sheet metal is fairly thin, so a jigsaw works perfectly. But to ensure a really fine cut, it's good to have a brand new dedicated blade. A blade is actually made for cutting metal. Once 3 sides of the metal was cut, we then went on to add additional tape so we can hold it in place as to prevent it from vibrating during the last passing of the cut. And there you have it. Cutting the hole went very well. As you can see, the frame sits in pretty neatly. Second step was to vacuum all the charged pieces. That part is very important, as those little charged metal pieces can embed itself under the roof of the van and then turn into rust. We take time to make sure that every single piece of chard is removed. We use a metal file to soften all the edges of the frame to have a smooth surface to work with. then wipe down the surface edge to have a clean surface ready for painting. This part is very important as the open metal is conducive to creating rust. So I use a Rust-Oleum black paint to cover the exposed metal to prevent the rust from happening. Because the roof metal is so thin, we have to create a frame to give it additional support. So the screws that's going to hold the fan could have much more of a thick area for it to grip on. Waterproofing the frame is a two-step process. The first step is to install butyl tape all around the edges. The butyl tape works sort of like a gasket, sealing any gaps and holes between the frame and the surface of the van. We place the frame on top of the butyl tape and it becomes adhered to the roof. The next step is to drill the frame in with sheet metal screws. Again, pre-drilling each hole makes the job a lot easier. It's important to use screws that won't rust. So here I'm using stainless steel sheet metal screws. Once the frame is safely secured with the sheet metal screws onto the roof, I go then around with the lap sealant and put a bead of sealant on each of the exposed screws to prevent any water to find its way through. The next step is to go around with a generous flow of sealant all around the frame, as much as it could be afforded, to make sure that no water can find its way through. There it is. Both roof fans are now installed. They will provide a generous airflow throughout the van, keeping it cool and fresh. Stay tuned for the next video. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Your support is important to keeping this going.